to the Innovation Awards. Whether it's your first year joining us or you've been with us since 2014, we've been on one wild ride together. The Innovation Awards have taken us on a journey from celebration to laugh to tropheo. You know, the Innovation Awards have been compared to the Oscars of e-discovery. We might not have Leo or Laura Dern, but we do have you. And you are just as important as Best Actress or Best Picture. Though the People Award nominees aren't memorizing lines, they have spent years honing their craft, developing their mentoring skills, and advocating for next level creativity at their companies. Rather than spending sleepless nights on movie sets, the Tech Award nominees have spent them in front of their computers, developing apps on relativity to solve problems for our community. We'll be celebrating the People Awards first this year, so I'm passing the mic over to Mary Torres and Jonathan Hill, who have both been instrumental in developing our community both inside and outside of relativity. You may recognize Mary's voice from our podcast, Stellar Women, where we highlight female leaders making their mark in tech. And it just so happens to be an Innovation Award, so stay tuned. She's also the co-chair of Relativity's Women of the Workplace. Jonathan Hill has been a key player with Relativity Fellows, a program where we work with individuals from overlooked communities to help them start their careers. Jonathan has also worked with pipeline partners in the Chicagoland area and has started to place some of our first fellows. They are the perfect pair to guide you through the People Awards. Mary and Jonathan, take it away.
Thanks, Blair. And as they say, wait, Jonathan, is that a tie? I thought we were going casual.
I'm pretty sure I said business casual, Mary. You know, I went to Morehouse College, so suits, ties, loafers. I was practically born in a suit. I have a spare tie right here.
Classic Morehouse men, such sharp dressers. Working from home does have its perks, so we can quickly do an outfit change.
No, I mean, let's say wait. How about we get started on the awards? While reviewing all of these submissions from our community, we look for individuals we know who love relativity, continue to educate themselves, share their knowledge and understanding of the value of driving innovation in e-discovery, and those who pay it forward.
And that's exactly what all of our People nominees represent.
We had so many All-Stars apply this year, which brings us to our first award, the Lit Support All-Star.
An All-Star means many things, and I'd like to take this time to address our nominees. Hey now, you're an All-Star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on. Get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Wow, Mary, that was beautiful. I had no idea that you were a poet.
Well, yes, I am, Jonathan. Thank you very much. I just get really inspired by all our nominees. They could really all be all-stars. A Lit Support All-Star is a power user who strives to hone their expertise on what relativity can do and looks for ways to push it even further. And they bring their team along with them.
Our Lit Support All-Stars are killing it, and they're crushing it in their roles. It's crazy. Like many in this field, including myself, they fell into e-discovery.
We had Mark Anderson, studied film and media at university. Rachel casually has her PhD in theoretical physics. And Justin, at 8 years old, he wanted to be a difference maker. All three are making a huge difference in their organizations and industry to drive innovation.
And the nominees for Lit Support All-Star are.
What I find so interesting about e-discovery is that while most people describe their line of work as an industry or profession, we choose the word community.
The knowledge that's within the community is so in-depth and so detailed that it's a really, really valuable resource for anyone, whether you have been in e-discovery 6 months or 10 years or 20 years. Your colleagues are always going to be the best source of information for you.
It's not, this is our way of doing things. We're going to keep the secret. It is very much share the knowledge and help people. And, whether it's, picking up a phone, a WhatsApp group with people from the industry, just asking questions. I try and dedicate as much time as I can to help people internally and from these, the WhatsApp groups, the community, attending things such as the Relativity user groups, ACEDS events. So anything I can to, people are very willing to help out. I am willing to help out.
If I may take this opportunity to get on my soapbox, if you haven't already been using it, I encourage all members of our community to visit the Relativity community site and share their problems and their solutions.
The knowledge that's within the community is so in-depth and so detailed that it's a really, really valuable resource for anyone, whether you have been in eDiscovery 6 months or 10 years or 20 years. Your colleagues are always going to be the best source of information for you.
I think it's just a great community for people to really share ideas and to learn from each other.
And the winner is Rachel McAdams.
Thank you so much. I am completely overwhelmed. I don't even know what to say except thank you. Thank you to everyone who voted for me, and thank you to anyone who voted in any of the Innovation Awards. It's such a fantastic experience to be part of the awards, to learn about what my colleagues are doing across the globe. I really appreciate the recognition that comes from this award. It's definitely going to spur me on to doing bigger and better things with Relativity, and I'm so grateful to everyone in the community for voting for me.
Congrats, Rachel. You'll be able to show off that trophy soon enough. In my opinion, the true prize was being able to hear that poem from Mary. Mary, I thought you said we were going casual. I even put on my Relativity Gives t-shirt.
Jonathan, you said you were going business casual and you were on camera. Can we please roll back the tape?
No, we don't need to roll back the tape. Hold on. There we are. Much better.
Well, bow ties are Scott Lombard from J&D's thing. We'll let it pass this year, but next year, Jonathan, let's make it a tie.
Noted. Good point. Our next award is the Attorney Tech Evangelist Award. During our chat with these finalists, we learned so many new terms that we plan to integrate in our vocabulary.
We learned techiest, goobly gook, which, Dennis in Virginia, you might be starting a new trend here. Maybe by the end of the ceremony, hashtag goobly gook could be trending.
An evangelist is about more than trend setting. It's about action. Using technology to drive efficiency and innovation in our organizations, applying this technology when appropriate, and advocating for technology when it's right.
And the nominees are.
I do a orientation for a lot of our attorneys when they first come on board, and our paralegals as well. And I usually lead with, look, if you're doing something and you feel like this is taking a long time and there must be a better way, you are probably right, and you should call me and I will try to show you what that better way is.
All innovation really, it drives the continuous improvement, right? For better service of the law, for our clients, for our fellow attorneys, everything. It's just so critical.
Innovation in the law is important because it helps create efficiencies. To me, an attorney tech evangelist is a person that is always looking for a way to streamline a workflow, or to find a technical solution in the practice of law and then advocate for using that to the case team.
What I think a tech evangelist showcases is, there are people who are aware that the best way to cut through the noise of technology, the best way to do that is to use technology and to use it well.
I kind of think of it almost like, ultimately, I think if we've done our job right, that this evangelizing is kind of, again, the kind of quiet, does it work? And once it starts working, people come back and back and back. And then, it becomes more and more successful, and it kind of breeds on itself.
And the winner is Kate Bauer.
Thank you for this honor. I would like to thank last year's winner, Kristen Trailer, for surprising me with this nomination. Thank you, Kristen. And I especially thank my firm, Steptoe, for its support, and in particular, my boss, my director, John O'Rourke. John has always had a higher opinion of my abilities than I have, and rising to meet the many challenges he's set for me has enabled me to get to this point in my career. Lastly, I want to thank Relativity for giving me the opportunity to become a master. And I really look forward to seeing all of you next year at Fest, hopefully in person. Thank you so much.
Congrats, Kate. You put the angel in evangelist.
And the attorney in attorneys.
That one doesn't really work, but we're still really proud of you, Kate.
We do have one more angel in our midst.
The winner for Corporate Tech Evangelist is next. The winner is a corporate team member who keeps a pulse on emerging trends, finds new ways to use technology, and drives change within their corporation.
This award highlights the pioneers. During our chat with these finalists, they likened themselves to the Avengers, since they were championing and evangelizing technology throughout their organizations. Now, I'm a huge Avengers fan. Mary, who's your favorite Avenger?
Wow, I feel like that's a softball question, but I would go with Liam Hemsworth.
I'm pretty sure it's Chris Hemsworth.
Pretty sure no. Trust me, I know my celebrities, especially when it comes to the Hemsworth brothers.
Okay. Well, I could really use your cooperation to announce this next award. Yep, that was terrible. I don't know why I keep doing these jokes. I've literally never done them in my life.
You did text me asking if these were okay. We had a meeting about it. I have it in my next action. Some of them were kind of good. Let me see if I can share my screen and pull it up here.
And the nominees for Corporate Tech Evangelist are.
And I think of an evangelist, I'm always looking, I'm always curious, I'm always seeking, and I'm always working with teams of people to trigger them to seek, to bring ideologies and solutions to the table that fit in our business agility mode, here at FedEx. And I love it because there's always something new.
I love being the purveyor of forward thinking, and being an evangelist is teaching others, especially someone outside of the legal team, someone who really does not have any experience with relativity whatsoever. For me, it's rewarding when I see a colleague. It's like, the little light bulb lights up in their head and they're like, wow, I could do that.
We are so much more efficient now with where we are when they allow us to evangelize. And I'm not the only one. There's a group of us. We're like the Avengers throughout the corporation that get together at a table to sell these ideas.
At Voya, we are the Avengers, April as well, and Janet. We do teach our different customers at Voya. But what I've learned is I can teach someone the automation part, but I've actually learned a lot about the different workflows that other departments have at Voya, which kind of helps me kind of level set expectations and just, the use of the applications at Voya. So for me, I have to understand the overall objective of like the goal that, these different teams are trying to meet. And that actually helps me, kind of review our technologies and apply, what's needed.
And the winner is Jada Payne. Congratulations.
Hi, Relativity community. I'm Jada Payne, and I would like to send a big thank you for selecting me as this year's Corporate Tech Evangelist. I'm so excited to join you all at Fest virtually this year. I realize with all the challenges 2020 has brought, how important being selected for this award is. It means you took time out of your busy schedules to vote, and you chose me. Thank you again. Here's to continued success for us all. And I look forward to meeting everyone in person at Fest next year. Bye.
The winner puts the...
I think we've had our run with those jokes. They just aren't landing. Can you hear the silence from the audience?
I don't hear anything.
Well, that is because we are pre-recording this session.
So no one's hearing these jokes. So we could be crushing it right now. I guess we'll never know.
We do have some of the surveys going out after, but I really love your attitude. I totally think we're crushing it.
We are slaying these awards right now, okay?
I think you stole that from April from our finalist video.
I do remember that she talked about how she couldn't have imagined in 5 years that the legal industry would be slaying the cloud beast, right?
For sure. And speaking of slaying, it's time to get to our next award, Stellar Woman.
Stellar Women. That could be a really good R&B group name. I mean, let's be real. TLC, Destiny's Child, Supremes. I can see it now.
I love it. Love it, but we have claimed it for the podcast. So Jonathan, pause off the name. A stellar woman is a leader who elevates women in tech, breaks barriers, mentors others, makes learning a priority, and embodies the spirit of paying it forward.
Like how someone in line pays it forward at Starbucks by, instead of getting a grande almond milk latte, they get a lifetime's worth of knowledge, career guidance, and assistance navigating the institutional barriers of what it means to be a woman in tech.
Actually, yeah, Jonathan, you totally get it.
Nice. Mary and I had a great conversation with the finalists for this award, especially around those who have been instrumental in helping them grow professionally and personally. For Sarah, her family and colleagues played a huge role, namely her partner, Greg. Kenya said that she had many champions in her career, and oftentimes she strived herself to make sure that anyone that she worked with would leave better off than when she came.
I love that. And Lakeisha said that her mom has been a huge mentor to her to help her not only be a strong woman, but to be a strong human being. And I think all three women had so much to share on when leaders should look to the future and really help their peers and colleagues win.
And the nominees for Stellar Women in e-Discovery are...
I have found that in almost every position that I've been in, there's been one of my managers, bosses, supervisors has taken me under their wing, and I have been very grateful for that. And I've learned from them to do the same.
There are a number of people who have helped me along the way that I'm eternally grateful for, both men and women.
I think there's kind of two basic things that people need to be successful, both professionally and financially. And it's self-confidence and it's opportunity. And so not everybody has the self-confidence, definitely not everybody has the opportunity. So if we can help that in any way, then we need to be able to do that. And I think there's a few ways that we can do that. And of course, like Kenya said and Lakeisha said, training 100%. The second thing is mentoring, of course.
I try to make sure that every person that I work with is capable of getting a promotion quickly by getting the training for the job and being more than proficient in the job that they're in and being ready to perform the job at the next level.
You're winning, I'm winning. I just believe we should all be winning. So whatever I can do to help you win, I'm here for it.
And the winner is Kenya Dixon.
It is a tremendous honor to be recognized by Relativity for the work that I've done in e-discovery, information governance, and cybersecurity over the past 20 years. I want to thank Relativity for recognizing me and all the women who contribute their talents to the e-discovery field. I'd like to thank my fellow finalists, Lakeisha Barkley and Sarah Thompson, for all that they've contributed to this field. I have worked with some of the most amazingly talented, intelligent, and kind people anywhere, and I have often been the beneficiary of their overlooked brilliance. Thank you so much.
I'm so looking forward to listening to the podcast.
You listen to the podcast?
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed and everything. I didn't tell you.
Oh, you did it. All right, well, please swipe up to subscribe to Stellar Woman.
No, Mary, this is not an Instagram story. This is an award show. You can't just plug anything in here.
Pull down the graphic.
Or can we?
Keep it on standby.
Mary, we give all of the winners a shout out at the end on the website, and we post them in a blog post. I think we have it covered.
Nothing to plug, Jonathan? I've got something that's hot off the press. We have a new category this year.
You're right, the Inclusion Breakthrough Award. This award means so much to me during these times of unrest. These are individuals working when no one else is looking to create an environment or product inclusive of everyone. Someone would often refer to them as the win, sometimes not seen, but always felt. This person is a trailblazer and an advocate for change in our industries.
We've never had a winner before, so the person selected will be starting a legacy. The winner is Maribel Rivera. Congratulations. Maribel is so amazing. My co-host Mila and I spoke to her for the Stellar Woman podcast. Full disclosure, the episode hasn't been published yet, but a little sneak peek of what we discussed. She shared why she is so dedicated to giving back. At ACED, she created the Inclusion, Diversity, Equality, Awareness, and Action Committee. She's involved in countless organizations that really empower women. So huge congrats to Maribel.
You know, for me, it means that I'm really making a difference, that I'm impacting lives. even if it's not directly that what I am doing is trickling down, and it's impacting other people, right? It's influencing their thoughts and the things that they're doing. One of the things I would say is, like, right now, as a person involved with ACEDS, we created an inclusivity and diversity initiative there, and we're going to start doing things working with like NAACP, right? And Hispanic organizations and Life Preservers Project and other individuals, because I think that's so important. And I love that because of the work I'm doing, other people feel like it's really important to do that as well. And so that, I think, is what this award means to me. This award is not just for me, it's for everybody that I've influenced, right? It's for my kids, it's for my friends and colleagues that I work with every day, right? I do this, I wake up and I breathe diversity, inclusivity, equality every day. And so everyone that I touch, this is all about them.
You're really creating an amazing legacy with the Inclusion Breakthrough Award.
And the legacy is no joke. I mean, look at the Lannisters. You can really leave your mark on their family. I mean, an award. Sorry. These awards and me binging Game of Thrones, it really relates a lot to e-discovery.
It actually really does. I thought I was the only one who thought that. But do they really have teachers in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, they actually do.
Jonathan, I really love Game of Thrones, but I really was just using that to plug the Academic Innovator of the Year Award.
Fair. The Academic Innovator of the Year is a member of the Academic Partner Program who carries innovation into the classroom and shows extraordinary talent, dedication to bring technology into legal education.
None of the winners that we just announced would be here if it wasn't some form of teacher in their life.
And the winner is Joe Vallette. Congratulations.
First, I would like to thank my students, especially those who provided me with constructive feedback when I asked them what they liked and didn't like about my online course. I would also like to thank Molloy College, and specifically Dr. Judith Mathers Maloney. Molloy has provided me with the academic freedom to present and innovate within my classes so that I can continue to provide effective ways to combine theoretical knowledge and practical know-how into my lessons. And finally, I would like to thank Relativity, and in particular Janice Hallman. I am humbled by your recognition that by merely taking your own materials and trying to restructure them into a more conducive online experience is considered somehow innovative. All I was trying to do was make a small improvement to materials that already exist and present it in a more engaging and interactive format. And in so doing, moving just one step closer to my ultimate vision for online learning. This award means so much to me because it recognizes that innovation can sometimes be a small incremental improvement on the part of an instructor, yet can result in significant improvement to a student's learning experience. So for this recognition, thank you.
Congrats, Joe.
Let's give one more round of congratulations for all of the People Award winners and our nominees. And I think the best way to send us off, at least one more call, Mary, please.
Of course, Jonathan. I guess I would say all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step into the building, everyone's hands go up, down, up, down, up, down. Because all I do is win.
Wait, now that one sounds familiar, Mary. Isn't that?
Back to you, Blair.
Thanks, Mary and Jonathan, and congratulations to all the People Award winners and nominees. Now on to the Tech Awards. This year, we had 29 Tech Award nominations. I wanted to take a second to recognize all of the nominations that were submitted. Congrats, and thank you for continuing to innovate on relativity. Your expertise and know-how is what makes this platform so versatile. Before I pass it on to your Tech Award hosts, I wanted to give you a little history on this power couple. We've got Drew Deitch, who heads up the DevX team, and this will be his 4th year hosting. Then we've got the other half of this dynamic duo, Mike Obergun. Mike is a relativity master and e-discovery professional. Before working for Relativity, he was an e-discovery project manager, so he knows what it's like to be in the trenches with Relativity. Mike was the 2nd DevX team member right after Drew. They will be celebrating 4 years together in January. Wood is the 4-year anniversary gift, so it might be time for us to get these two an innovation award.
Thanks, Blair.
Thanks, Blair.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I thought that was my
cue.
cue. Go ahead. Sorry. The Innovation Awards are a time.
Why does this keep happening?
We spend too much time together.
No one understands me like Trofeo.
He was a mascot, right? Like, they can't even talk. Anyway, I didn't think Trofeo even liked you that much.
He didn't. He tried to kill me, actually.
Dark. Well, I can guarantee that I won't try to kill you. I'm just here to host the Tech Innovation Awards. I mean, I thought we'd be handing out awards and making jokes, not unpacking past trauma.
Speaking of past trauma, I know that everyone thinks that we just pick our favorites, but I'm here to tell you we don't. We are a neutral third party.
Okay, easy there, but it's true. We receive submissions that include detailed descriptions of all the applications. We then see demos of each and review the submissions in detail with our panel of judges, comprised of relativians, as well as legal and technology experts from around the industry. We have some of the best people in the industry, and we give them a really hard job.
Exactly. Judges are then asked to rank their favorite submissions along 4 criteria. Overall favorite, most impactful to customers' business, most complete use of the Relativity platform, and most unique or innovative.
Lastly, we allow every Relativity certified administrator to cast their vote, and those votes decide the community choice winner. Now, let's get to the meat and potato of the ceremony, the awards.
Mike, I would say that our playful banter is the meat and potatoes of the awards ceremony.
I mean, I would definitely say that, but I don't know if our audience would agree. Anywho, we sat down with each of the finalists for the best innovation law firm or corporation to learn more about each submission. Check them out.
Thank you to DLA for joining us. John and Ben, can you quickly introduce yourselves to our audience?
Sure. I'm John Hogan. I am the Director of Litigation Support at DLA Piper.
I'm Ben Jones. I'm a Senior Litigation Support Analyst.
John, tell me how the idea for this application came to be.
Yeah, sure. It's a really great story. With us transforming over to Relativity One, we have now given up that constant chore of maintaining an infrastructure. So we were able to offload that task, and my team has been able to now, start to kind of develop, start to become a little bit uncomfortable and reach out to different practice groups within our firm.
Before the Relativity workspace was set up, how were the teams trying to manage all this information?
Well, without speaking ill of other software products, they were using spreadsheets. And each researcher would, and there were about 50 of them, one for each of the larger jurisdictions. Each of them maintained their own spreadsheet that they would add to and adjust every day. Each of those spreadsheets would then go to a central person who would then try and take the information manually from each of these 50 spreadsheets, join it into a larger spreadsheet, and have that spreadsheet then available for people to try and look through and filter through to find the information.
What are we seeing on the screen right here?
This screen that you're seeing is very much kind of the end result, user-facing screen. And as we mentioned, we had attorneys and paralegals coming in here trying to look for data who had never used Relativity before. And so these aren't people that we can count on knowing how to do all of the fancy searching that is great and available in Relativity, because again, this was all very urgent, very on the spot, and we ended up having more than 250 users across the firm at various levels coming in. As I say, many of them who had never used Relativity before. So it just needed to be very clean, it needed to be very functional, it needed to be really obvious how to get down to the orders that you needed to see for your particular practice area.
Amazing. Thank you both so much for your submission. And we're so glad you were able to use Relativity to help your firm and your customers and your clients navigate a challenging time.
Hi, I'm Virginia Ring. I'm eDiscovery of Counsel and a member of the LitSmart eDiscovery management team. I'm the QC leader on the team, and I also manage our analysts. I also work alongside Andy daily in innovation efforts for our team.
And I'm Andy Webb. I'm a technology and innovation manager here at Kilpatrick Townsend as part of the eDiscovery team. I've worked with case teams and project managers and analysts, everybody involved in litigation, working on custom solutions to a lot of the complex cases that we get in.
Let's go ahead and dive into some screenshots, see the application in action, and can you talk about some of the functionality we see on the screen now and really the problem that you're trying to solve with Auto Reporter?
Sure. Well, I can jump in here. Really, the idea for the Auto Reporter first started because our team was looking for a way to automate reporting on the volume of documents contained in large sets of QC searches.
So our Safe Search profile is set up for our QC searches. Going down through the list here, you start out by selecting the recipients of the report. It can be anybody on the case team, the PMs, the paralegals on the case, or even experts if that's what certain functions require. Next, you select your safe searches that are going into the report. For this one, this is all of our tagging QC searches that are part of our workflow to QC documents before they're going out on production. And it's very simple to click through, select what you want, and do a keyword search filter for the ones that you need. Below that is the little option box, and this is one that we added after kind of talking it through internally and talking it through with Inserio. And that option is to include the safe search results.
Here, this is a screenshot of the email that the recipients receive via the Auto Reporter tool. So what we're seeing here in the body of the email is a list of all the searches that we selected in our profile and the number of documents that's in each of those searches. You'll note that these are also active links that if the recipient clicks on them, it will take them actually back to that search in the workspace.
Virginia, Andy, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us on the virtual fest stage.
So my name's Tom Maple. I'm the head of global technical operations in the Alt practice group. I lead the technical operations team, part of which is the development team that created the Checkmate application.
And hi, I'm Gordon Both, manager in ALT with a focus on custom technology solutions.
Guys, can you tell us a little bit about the solution we're looking at, Checkmate? What was the problem you were trying to solve with this application?
Yeah, so the ability to track, search, and report on historical field data and the movement between values of fields is a key part of our internal workflows. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to develop something that captured those field changes in an automated way and then allowed the users to interrogate those movements between field values and create graphs and really slice and dice the data how they wanted to.
I think this may be the first time that Herbert Smith Freehills is submitting Innovation Awards. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
What was the catalyst for entering the award ceremony this year?
Well, we always really love the Innovation Awards each year at Relativity Fest, and we have a development team now for the last year that they've been working to get to grips with the Relativity APIs and the custom functionality. So we just thought that our Checkmate application was a really good example of what we've been doing at the moment at HSF, and we wanted to showcase it at the fest and to the Relativity community at large.
Tell us about the dashboard here. Now that we've set up the configuration, what are we getting in this view?
So basically, the dashboard is really then just representing what we have in our history objects. So the event handler will save save the changes to fields in the history object. And then really here, we're just trying to give our users a quick and easy 7-day view of the changes and the sort of general top level changes to the documents.
Finally, I'll bring up the overturns view. So what are we seeing in this screen?
So really, there's a sort of additional piece of functionality there where, so when someone makes a change to a document, that might be like the first level reviewer. They might change a privilege field from no to yes. Then you might have a quality control process or workflow over the top of that, where you'll have some QC reviewers or second level reviewers. They might be reviewing a percentage of the documents that were reviewed in the first level review. And then if one of those make a change to a first level review document, it's really important to know why those changes were made.
Tom and Gordon, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on being a finalist.
And the winner is?
Hey, don't get lit smart with me. We didn't decide who was going to announce the winner here.
Really, Drew? You're going down the pun road?
I mean, this is a multi-matter issue here for me, Mike.
See, I didn't want this to be the vibe for my first time hosting.
Whoa. If you want to remediate this with me, we can definitely do that after the awards.
You know, Drew, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do dad jokes, even though I am a dad, but they wanted some fresh blood with the Tech Award host, so checkmate, Drew. Checkmate.
There you go. Now you're getting the hang of it.
And the winner of the Best Innovation Law Firm or Corporation goes to?
Checkmate by Herbert Smith Freehills.
It's fantastic. Our development team have worked really hard on this, and we're really pleased with how Checkmate's turned out. It's really flexible, and it gives our guys real ability to help with the workflows, and it's just amazing to win this. We're really, I'll use an Aussie term, we're stoked.
I mean, we put a lot of effort into this to try and hit as much of the API as we could, use as much of the functionality as we could, and develop something that really met a core need for our review and e-discovery teams. So yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. It's great.
Congrats.
Well, Drew, we have more new attendees than ever this year. So why don't we clue them in on some Innovation Awards lingo?
Yeah, like Bill Falk.
Best Innovation Law Firm or Corporation.
Or BISP.
Best Innovation Solution Provider.
Or Kakavkipatros.
Community Choice Award, voted on by the RCAs.
Or IMTO.
What? Oh, sorry, Drew. I'm not sure I'm picking up what you're putting down on that one.
I miss Trofeo.
What? What did you say?
I said I miss Trofeo.
Well, Drew, I'm never going to be Trofeo, but I am going to introduce our next award.
BISP.
Yes, Drew. Best Innovation Solution Provider.
Now, on to the nominees. When I heard that we were pivoting to a virtual awards ceremony, I thought to myself, what will I do without a big screen? How will I know if the audience can see all of the finalists? Which is why I've created Innovation Awards Tech Center. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Brand new this year, I've created an easy way of sorting, evaluating. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm ready. I've created an easy way. Can everyone see this?
Drew. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I actually created Relativity a couple of years ago to help us organize all Innovation Awards submissions.
Oh yeah, we can totally use Overtivity, Mike. It's super comparable to mine, but since yours is already up and running, we can just go with Overtivity.
You sure, Drew? I mean, we can still use yours. It looks like you put a lot of effort into that.
We're actually in the process of upgrading right now, so yeah, so we can just do it with Overtivity, Mike.
Your call. Well, we had so many amazing innovations this year.
I thought mask it was super topical, you know, with all the masks we're wearing these days.
Drew, you know that mask it actually has nothing to do with mask, right? It automates the identification and redaction of personally identifiable information.
Mike, I know, but that's what the hosts are for, you know, to make quick topical jokes. You're going to have to get good at these if you want to keep hosting next year.
Ah, I see. You know, a couple of these names were on my girl list name, actually. Athenergy, for example. Love that name. Was going to call her Athena for short.
Well, I call dibs on Thea. It's the perfect name.
You sure? Not Jemba?
I was thinking Jemba, but something about Thea just called to me.
Well, another app that called to me was Photo Search. Using AI to analyze photos and using advanced algorithms to identify the content of photos, meaning I can search embarrassing Drew and find this little gem.
I was drawn to Deloitte Audio Discovery, which was developed to help with the searching of audio. I simply searched Bound for Broadway and found this little nugget.
You just remember what your old pal said, Drew. You got a friend in me. Drew, you got a friend in me. Okay. As much as I like showing off my own application, I think we've taken it a step too far here. Let's get back on track and take a look at the solution provider finalists who are taking Relativity to the next level. Let's take a look.
So I'm Nick Conway, and I'm a partner in our forensic technology practice in the UK, responsible for delivering our comms, monitoring and surveillance business.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. My name is Chester Ray. I'm a manager within our forensic technology practice within Deloitte UK, and I hope to facilitate the comms and monitoring platform and solutions.
Can you tell us a little bit about this application and some background on how the idea got started?
Over the last few years, we've seen a consistent and constant shift of expectations when it comes to communication data types. So media data types are now expected to be aligned to the more traditional document and email reviews. So from regulators to private companies, it's a problem that I guess we're expected to tackle, and it's no longer seen as something that is not available. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a higher significance in remote working and these type of platforms. So business practices have been changing. I guess, of course, over the last couple of months, we've seen the pandemic. This has led to the majority of office-based workers having to find technology-led solutions in order to allow continuity of business. Where in the past, we were seeing primarily telephone-based conversations, we're seeing a dramatic increase into collaborative tools such as Zoom or Skype, and using those tools and that becoming a primary communication platform, we're seeing a huge, amount of data in those areas. Using media processing platforms, I think, is going to become one of the more forefront capabilities when it comes to communication monitoring.
Can you maybe walk us through some of the functionality we're seeing on the screen?
So the application you can see here is used to facilitate that video and audio review in a look back or proactive monitoring scenario. The platform enables the playback of video and audio in conjunction with the transcription, which you can see on the left-hand side, which allows highlighting of each word as the media plays. And then the speech is identified by person 1, person 2, as you can see also in the transcription pane. Using the relativity search term reports or the trace automated searching allows the user to have a secondary highlight, which is the colors that you can see across the transcript. And additionally, there's a click to jump functionality across the top waveform and in addition to the transcript.
Well, Chester, Nick, thank you so much for sharing the insights on audio discovery. Congratulations again on being a finalist, and thank you so much for taking some time with us on the virtual fest stage.
My name is Ari Perlstein. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Compliance. I'm responsible for investigating new platforms, internal development, and anything that really plugs in here at Compliance.
And I'm Mark Zamsky. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Compliance. I've been in the business now for 24 years, Relativity partner for 8 years at Compliance, and we're very excited to have been made it to the finalist rounds. So thank you.
Can you give some background on how this application originated in-house?
So requires just a quick background of DaaS, or Discovery as a Service, which was an application that we built that was meant specifically to provide our clients with the security infrastructure, access to software without necessarily being a client of that software and having to manage it or own it or license it.
Why don't we jump into a couple of screenshots of the application, and if you could walk through some of the functionality and features here, that would be great.
So this page is the application page for a specific user. So for in here, you can quickly click on one of these toggles to add or remove a specific application to or from a user. And then you can also jump into a specific user using that platform SSO and user SSO column. So you can go into each platform directly and make adjustments on that user.
Can you share a little bit about what we're looking at here?
All authentication attempts, audits, any changes or events that happen within the system are tracked with a geotag. So in here, we can really see a very detailed map of where those events are taking place. So I think that given the times we're living in, it's so important to be able to secure your workforce and your applications, in an easy and simple way, but also in, ultimately a very secure way. And this platform really allows you to do that in a way where you can be confident and comfortable that users can access the systems and be disabled and controlled very, very carefully and succinctly.
Emily, thank you so much for making time to join us on the virtual fest stage. Appreciate it, and congratulations on being a finalist again. I thought maybe we could start with a little bit about your background and your role at EY.
Thanks. So I've been at EY for 7 years. I'm in our forensics practice, focusing pretty heavily on e-discovery. And I'm really fortunate that in my role, I get to lead a pretty small team of developers, and we really kind of have the freedom to get to do some pretty innovative things. One of our partners called us the skunk works of our group, and that name kind of stuck with us.
So Rebound, do you think you could tell us a little bit about how the idea originated for this application?
Yeah, for sure. So one of our partners came to me pretty early on. Obviously, COVID-19 has just completely changed the way all of us are working right now. And he had several projects where he was actually consulting his clients on guidance and regulations that the government was issuing. And what we found was that obviously, since the situation was so new, things were changing so quickly every day. And the guidance that was being issued by the government was also changing very quickly, sometimes even daily. And so initially we created a web scraper that would go to all these different websites the government had these different things posted on, and we would copy out all of the contents, we would identify the changes between the different versions, and then ultimately we wanted to put them in a platform so that they were accessible for our team to review, know when changes were made, know what changes were made. And ultimately it kind of led into becoming kind of a COVID command center where we had access to about 15,000 different websites and pulled all this information in kind of one succinct place.
Let's dive into a couple of screenshots, and maybe you can walk us through some of the functionality, starting with what we have on the screen.
Yeah, for sure. So this page in particular, you can see there's tons of tabs across the top, and keeping this brief, this view in particular is our immigration tracker. What it does for all of the different countries that are out there, it's scraping through different sites for information and pulling in all of the relevant immigration details. And so we built this view in mind for someone who is really focused on immigration. You can see up at the top, we have things like mobility tracker, government incentives, tax trackers. There's all sorts of all different types of information that's being tracked within here, but the whole idea is pulling in information from different sources and having them in one view that's easy to use depending on your role. This view here, kind of once we started pulling in all these different sources together, I think I mentioned, but it's about 15,000 different sites that we're looking at. We really wanted this to become sort of a one-stop shop. And so on your previous view, you can see all of the up-to-date information for trackers, but this view was designed to really give you the ability to sort of go back in time. One of the key features we wanted this tool to have was to not only have the latest guidance that's been out there, but also seeing the timeline of when different pieces of information have been released.
And the winner for Best Innovation Solution Provider goes to Audio Discovery by Deloitte UK.
Thank you very much. That's fantastic news. And listen, it's one of those things, it's a super competitive area. So for us to be able to have come through in the way that we have is excellent. Thank you very much to everyone that's been involved from all of the teams in order to create this. And I think we can't underestimate the amount of impact this will have on our clients going forward as well. So thank you for that. Chester, if there's anything you'd like to add.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, much appreciated. I think that it's been a pleasure to be able to develop something for the Relativity platform. It was something that I think our clients are very in need of, and something that I guess as a type of add-on is something that we can move forward with, in addition to creating an enhanced version. I'm completely surprised. I've worked on this for over a year or so in the nitty-gritty of it, developing requirements and getting that all out there. So I'm quite ecstatic to be able to have the opportunity to win an award for something that I've put quite a lot of hard work into, and Deloitte's allowed me to develop for.
All jokes aside, it has been amazing to see how our community has been reacting to COVID-19. Relativity is a powerful tool, and these companies are facing the virus and solving the problems that have arisen in this unique environment.
We saw a variety of our customers and partners using Relativity to meet the challenges they faced due to COVID, including Deloitte, DLA Piper, Moray, and EY. It's really humbling to see. Some of these apps were also built entirely from the front end. We want to reiterate that you don't have to be a coder to be able to submit an innovation for the Innovation Awards.
That's right. No idea is too small, too silly, or too creative. You might not think of yourself as an innovator, but you are.
Yeah, Mike, this year we had a submission, for example, by Junbi Zhang, a Relativity master from Rico, Canada. He wouldn't call himself a full-time developer, but he took his learning to the next level. With little development experience, Junbi taught himself Relativity development and built his first app, Jemba, from scratch.
You know, as a fellow Relativity master, I think it's fair to say that Junbi has thrown down the gauntlet for all other Relativity masters to step it up. So, all you power users out there, what will you build?
Running a data remediation project to track reviews.
That's an innovation.
Organizing internal knowledge articles into a Relativity database.
That's an innovation.
Creating a Rube Goldberg machine to get your charcuterie board out of the fridge and over to the bed, all without you getting up.
That's a sad innovation.
See, anyone can do it.
Drew, I'm a little concerned.
What? Don't be. I'm living my best life in quarantine. Did you know that Costco actually has a limit on how much cheese a person can buy at one time? So lame, am I right?
Totally, man.
Anyway, for our next award, we asked the community of Relativity certified administrators, who are the experts of Relativity, to cast their vote for the community choice.
And the winner for community choice is Sky Photo Search by Sky Discovery. Congratulations.
Oh my God, did we really win?
Wow. That's incredible. Would you like to go first, AJ?
All yours, Jeff. I'm sure you prepared
Okay.
for this. I know you prepared a speech for this, so you go first, mate.
I've been preparing for this, for my whole life. Look, thank you very much for this. Thank you to the community. We really appreciate recognition of a cool solution we'll put together. I think Sky Discoveries, we're quite a unique company in the history, in the sense that, it was founded by four, e-discovery professionals who were down in the trenches every day, wanting to build kind of better tools. And we set up this company really to build kind of better solutions on top of the Relativity platform. And, here we are 5 years later. We've built a lot, spend lots of time, in building kind of solutions, and it's exciting to win an award. Hopefully, we can give back to the community through, rolling out some kind of fun solutions like this. So, thank you for that.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll have a go. So look, Sky Photo Search, it's come about as because of issues that we come in the discovery industry day in, day out. As Jeff said, we're always wanting to use technology to innovate, to get rid of the awful jobs that happen in e-discovery, the manual, repetitive jobs. We had a matter about 3 years ago where we had a lot of photos that we had to go through, and we had to basically do a manual trawl to find dam walls and cracks in dam walls. And having technology and solutions like what we brought today would have made that a whole lot easier. So Sky's all about bringing technology to do it, to make sure that all those jobs that we do that take hours and manual and monotonous, we can get rid of and get done with bullshit. So thank you everyone out there who's voted. Thank you everyone who sees the value of this this solution, and we're looking forward to bringing more to you in the future.
Congrats, Sky. You now have the approval of the RCAs, which is not easy to get. The Innovation Awards are more than a time to showcase innovation. They're a time to celebrate those in the Relativity community who don't always get to take center stage. It's for the developers who spend hours at their computers poring over their work and their passion projects. It's for the hard workers and the nerds like Mike and I. We all wanted to take a chance to celebrate each of the nominees, finalists, and our entire developer community.
Right, Drew. And that's a wrap for this year's Innovation Awards. It's been a journey from my first hosting duties, but thanks for being there with me, Drew. You're a real pip chia. Partner in crime for hosting the Innovation Awards.
Wow, you mean it?
For sure. I can't wait to do this again next year if you'll have me.
Of course.
Then it looks like I'll be seeing you all next year.
Back to you,
Blair.
What a beautiful relationship. Congratulations to all of the winners. These incredible tech innovations wouldn't exist without the people to dream them up. And each year, it's been so inspiring to watch you continue to raise the bar for yourselves and each other. I can't wait to see what you have in store for Relativity next year. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy your fest.